Hello, it's me Ian and welcome to Help. My school trip is magic. Our magicians are no longer supply teachers, they are now doubling as staff in some popular attractions. And because we know you know them, we've disguised them even more. We've secretly filmed the results with special hidden cameras. In today's show, our magicians get to visit a 900-year-old castle. I love castles. I used to own 4. Until my mum threw away my chess set. Let's see what's happening in today's show.
Oh, that's a bit of a disappointment.
There's no armour in showing you what happens when a school trip visits a castle. Hang on, there is armour.
Oh, my word!
James shows you how to strike the right balance and tricks of the trade. You've been sending in clips of all your best magic tricks, and later on I'll be picking my favourite. It's the wannabe wizards. And Fergus is really gurning for it when he tries to pick up this magical weight at the sports stadium.
Do you think you'd be able to tell if your school trip was magic? Do you?
Here's our magician John. He's forgotten his cards. Oh, he only needs the one. Looks like he's going to autograph it for me. That's not such a good sign. I'm sure the school trip will be fine though. This is year 5 getting on the coach. They don't know it yet, but their teachers and parents have set them right up. They think they're going on a school trip that steps back in time, but they're going to have the time of their lives. They're off to visit Leeds Castle. It's a place literally dripping with history. It's been a Norman stronghold and the private property of 6 medieval queens. The kids are really excited to be getting out of school, but they have no idea they're about to see some Tudor trickery inside a castle once used by King Henry VIII. And guess who John's being made to look like? Okay, so these trippers will never believe John's actually Henry VIII unless they think this coach is a time machine. John's even deeper in character, playing a castle tour guide dressed as the famous king. He's been painstakingly accurate with his research.
It's my favourite period of history, Tudor. Tudor chicken leg, Tudor sandwich, Tudor toffee. I'll do any of that.
Of course, when I say painstaking, I mean stomach ache. Here come the trippers, hungry for history. Meanwhile, John's still walking the hallowed halls. He'd better get his royal rear in gear as the kids aren't far behind. The fire is crackling, the magic touch paper is lit. The cameras are set, and John's bang up for it. Here come his loyal subjects now. Are any of them eagle-eyed enough to see through his regal disguise?
I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of the things that we have here at the castle. We have some very, very exciting things. Have you had a look round? Yeah. Ha-ha! Wonderful! It's a marvellous place. We've got all sorts of exciting things. I'd like to tell you about some of them, and one in particular that has something to do with Henry VIII. Now,
This is going to be spooky, I can feel it.
King Henry, he was a lovely man, but he was a little bit superstitious. And one of the things he was very, very superstitious about was security. And there's a rumour that one day King Henry decided he wanted all the doors locked every night because he was afraid, you see. He was afraid that he might get what we call a Tudor intruder.
She's laughing now, but she won't be once he's chewed her ear off.
So every single door was locked. Remarkably, something started to happen. During the night, every key would turn in its lock without anyone touching it. And so King Henry, he was upset by this. He was a superstitious man, he was a scared man, he didn't want intruders. And one night, in a fit of anger, he jumped out of bed with a hammer and he rushed around the castle, smashing every single key in its lock so that every single key was bent, so none of them could turn, except for one key. This key here.
Keep watching, it's about to get even more magic key.
This is the only key that King Henry never broke or bent with his hammer. And it has some very strange properties.
This isn't true, by the way, it's all part of the Tudor-inspired trick.
Watch very, very carefully. Look, if I put the key on my hand like that, watch what happens. Look.
Watch it very closely.
Look, can you see what's happening?
He's spotted something. Eh? The key's moving on its own. Whoa, I saw it really go then.
It's remarkable. Would you like to have a look at it?
John's made them speechless, but it's not because they can't get a word in.
Yes, it's just an ordinary key. It probably won't turn in your hand.
There's nothing strange about the key except John's spooky story.
Now, obviously, that key just turned on my hand, but when these keys turned in Henry's day, they didn't turn in the hand. They actually turned when they were in the lock. So if I hold it like this and you watch very carefully, look, we'll see whether it will do it again. Look.
John's fist represents the lock, but will the key turn the class's head towards his magical identity? It's turning around in his hand. Whoa!
Turning around in my hand.
Whoa, that is spooky. Get it?
Would you like to have a look? Have a look at the key. It's remarkable, isn't it? Now, obviously people wondered why that happened.
They're checking it out, but they still can't see anything untoward.
Is it not turning?
No.
Who'd like to have a go and see if it will turn in their hand? This young girl here, what's your name? Wonderful. Sky, would you come and join me? Yes, wonderful. Come and stand here, Sky.
Sky's the limit for this next trick.
Okay, now what I want you to do, Sky, is I want you to hold out your hand for me nice and flat. That's great. We'll just put the key in your hand, close it nice and tight, and we'll see if the key begins to turn in her hand.
She's holding the key, but will she unlock John's magical secret?
Nothing's happening. I wonder why it won't turn. Just open your hand for me a moment, would you? Look at that, boys and girls. The key has bent inside her hand.
They can't believe it. How did it happen?
Well done, Sky.
That must have been a key King Henry VIII hit with his hammer.
That was wonderful, thank you.
It's certainly been a hit of a trick.
Key.
First, John made a key turn in his hand. It then turned in his fist. He asked for a volunteer and the key didn't turn in their hands. But it did bend and John magically bent the truth. It's been historical, but it's all about to get hysterical when a magical day turns into a magical night. Now James is going to set you a magical challenge in tricks of the trade. If you fancy yourself a magician, here's a trick you can try on your mates. James is going to show you how to balance a sheet of paper like this on its side on your fingertip. James, can you give us any tips now? Except your fingertip. You work it out. Keep watching and you'll find out later in the show. It's going to be incredible. Let's return to the ramparts for our magical school trip to Leeds Castle. It's all about to get even more scary thanks to our hairy king of magic.
Obviously, as well as those little things that we've got here at the castle, we have some very, very big things. You've probably seen some wonderful pictures that we have.
And what about that big crate that's been there all along, John?
We also have suits of armour. Who's seen a suit of armour?
The magic coming up will suit you.
Now, we get these suits of armour delivered from all over the world. We've got one that's just arrived from France, I believe. And I'd like to show you it. I haven't yet unpacked it. It's actually here in this box. I thought it'd be quite nice if you were the first people to see the suit of armour. Would you like to see it? Excellent. It's still packaged up. It's just arrived. We had it delivered by the postman this morning. He was out of breath, I can tell you. It's a heavy thing to carry. But here we are. I think you might be a little bit surprised with what you see. This is obviously this is the coat of arms from where it came from, so that we know exactly where the suit of armour is from.
Looks like a coat of arms designed by Banksy.
And if I take this out, you can have a look at the suit of armour now. And oh,
Awkward.
oh, that's a bit of a disappointment.
Whoa.
Yes, it's a sword, but I was hoping for a whole suit of armour.
Impressed with the sword? Wait till they see the magic.
Maybe it's
It's not out the back.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't worry, class. John's always got a story. Strap yourselves in.
Mind you, I was a little bit of a swordsman when I was a boy. Oh, yes. When I was a boy, I could do a little bit of your swordsmanship. Ha-ha! Ha-ha! Ha-ha!
I scared her. She better be holding onto something when the trick happens.
Yeah! Oh, yes. A bit of an expert. Get out of breath when I do it now. That's a shame. It didn't come with a suit of armour. That would have been good.
The suit of armour has vanished, but I'm sure John has something else up his ruched sleeve.
I'm sorry about that, boys and girls. I really am. I was hoping it would arrive, but next time we have a suit of armour delivered, I'll let your school know, and you can come and have a look at it. Would you like that?
Yeah.
You'll have to phone up the school and make a royal appointment.
It'll be wonderful to see. It really will. It will be wonderful. Did you just hear that?
Yeah. Oh,
Listen.
yeah.
They did then. It came from the box. They looked shocked.
I think it was I think the sword in the box is making a noise. Let me have a look.
Nothing out the back.
Oh.
Where did that come from?
How on earth did I miss that the first time I looked?
He doesn't know either.
That's remarkable, isn't it, eh? Wonderful. Oh!
I don't know about you, but that made me jump too.
Oh, my word!
This has turned into a night to remember.
That took me by surprise. Actually, that didn't really take me by surprise, boys and girls,
You could have fooled me, John. You jumped.
because I'm not really Henry VIII, as you know, and I don't really talk like this. I actually talk like this. And my name's John, and this fella here, this is James. There he is.
He's relieved to get that helmet open.
And we're both magicians,
The surprises keep on coming.
and you've been set up by your teachers and your parents, and there's a camera over there, and there's a camera over here, and there's a camera at the back, and you're all going to appear on CBBC's Help My School Trip is Magic!
Yeah, you are. The armour tricks suited the class well, but privy, what did they think of it?
It was just really cool.
John opened the crate, but all that was inside was a shiny sword, which he was pretty handy with.
Yeah!
He shut the door again, and then we all heard some thumping noises.
Listen,
You've heard of things that go bump in the night. Well, this is a night that goes bump in a box.
And there was a full set of armour holding the swords.
When the armour came to life, they jumped out their skins.
It scared me a bit.
Scared, I nearly wet my breeches.
We were gobsmacked. It was magnificent. I've never seen anything like it.
They won't forget that school trip in a hurry, and they had no idea John was a magician. How long would it take for you to shout? Still to come. Hold the front page. James reveals the secret and tricks of the trade. Have you worked it out yet? And this rugby player builds up a sweat at the stadium. Will Fergus get away with this tricky training regime?
Lovely.
Or will the kids realise their school trip is magic? But first, we ask you to send in clips of yourselves performing your best magic tricks. We received loads of clips from all over the country. Each week I'll be choosing a favourite wannabe wizard and showing them to you guys. My wannabe wizard this time is Rabia from Cheshire, and her trick will tie you in knots.
Right, here I have 2 straws. Now I'm just going to tie a knot in them so that they can't rip apart in any way.
She's tying them nice and tightly.
Now as you can see, there is no getting out of that.
Definitely.
But with simple glue, they melt apart.
Whoa, let's get a rewind.
But with simple glue,
She must have secretly broken those straws.
and if you take a closer look, they're not harmed or or torn in any way.
Oh, great trick, Rabia. Magicians Fergus and Catherine have received word of their latest assignment. Where will the school trip be? Fergus doesn't know. Catherine's found it. Where is it? We'll just have to vitamin C. This is year 5, getting on the coach. They've been set up by their parents and teachers, including this one right here, who's about to become an unwitting magical assistant. They think they're going on a regular school trip to a sporting arena, but they won't have seen anything like this before. They're going to Twickenham Rugby Stadium, home of the England team and World Rugby Museum. Our world-class magicians are getting disguised as rugby coaches. Meanwhile, our school trippers are on their coach, en route. And it's time for Fergus and Catherine to get on the ball. The kids are getting closer to the stadium, but how are the magicians shaping up?
We're at the stadium, but before we get on with any rugby-inspired magic, we need to do our training.
I hope Fergus's tricks are better than his kicks, because here comes the kids. Time to tackle some last-minute training. Whoa, his head just disappeared in this machine. Catherine, help! Fergus's rugby tackle is tragic. Here comes the scrum looking round the museum. Just time for our magicians to dust themselves off. The hidden cameras are set, the crowd is coming, it's nearly time to kick off.
Hi boys and girls. Hello, my name is Miss Hand, first name Glenda.
Hang on a minute, she just said her name was Glenda Hand. You've got to hand it to Catherine.
I'd like to just welcome you to the Rugby Stadium and Museum. We're very excited here because next year we're going to be holding the Rugby World Cup right here in this stadium.
A little fact there from Catherine.
20 international teams are going to be competing in the World Cup, including our home team, England, and the reigning champions, New Zealand.
Not forgetting Wales, Ireland, and my favourite, Scotland.
Now, when the teams arrive, they have a whole team of people behind them, which means they've got coaches, sports psychologists, physiotherapists, and that's what I do. I'm a physiotherapist, and I help deal with all the muscular training for the athletes.
And here she's also massaging the truth.
Can anyone tell me, when you pass a ball in rugby, how do you do it? Yes.
Pass it backwards.
Excellent. Yes, you pass it backwards.
This class ain't backwards and coming forwards.
So, these are some of the stretches we've come up with to help pass the ball. This is one of them. I'd just like you all to hold your hands like this out in front of you.
Feel free to follow along at home, if you can.
And if you could just turn them around so your thumbs are down, that's great. And you put your left hand over your right hand and grip your fingers, that's fantastic. And then you slowly twist around like that. And you can really, really feel your muscles going there, can't you?
How did Catherine turn her wrists all the way around like that? It's impossible.
You aren't used to this kind of training, so you'll probably find it a little bit more difficult.
Also because Catherine's magic.
Now, something else that we do, this is called the reverse pass muscle memory move.
Easy for you to say.
This is how you do it.
You'll be able to follow this with your eyes, but not your arms.
Pop your hand on the floor and you begin to twist your hand and arm.
Whoa, Catherine's twisting her hand through 360 degrees. That's not possible. It's making my eyes water just thinking about it. He's brave to give it a go, though.
And it really does require a lot of stretching.
A lot of stretching, the truth.
But it very much helps with passing the ball in rugby.
They can't believe it. Catherine's contortionism has left them guessing.
Like that.
She's still trying to work out that muscular magic. Let's rewind that hand and once more. Ouch and wow, Catherine must be made of rubber, but that was some solid magic.
And it really does require a lot of stretching.
But Fergus is about to contort his face and the magic is gonna get stronger and stronger. No! Now it's time for James to reveal the secret and tricks of the trade. James left you in the balance as to how to balance a sheet of paper like this on its side on your fingertip. Do you just fold it in two and hang it over like this? No. Remember, you have to do it on its side. Or do you concentrate really hard? Not likely. Here's the secret. You fold the paper diagonally in half. That's it, James, nice and precise, take your time. Then fold one side back on itself in a wing shape. And do the same on the other side. You will now be able to balance the paper on your fingertip. Did you get it? Hold it steady. That trick will leave your mate's minds in creases. It's time to rejoin our school trip to the rugby stadium and museum. Catherine's been pulling the class's leg by twisting her arm, but they don't suspect a thing.
To twist your hand and arm backwards.
Now it's time for Fergus to up the stakes and lift the trip to another level.
Hello, everyone. Very good. I'm going to demonstrate something for you here today. This is our heavy weight training kit. I'm going to show that to you now.
It's just a box. A heavy box, that is. Fergus looks like he's struggling, but the class are laughing. Cruel bunch.
So you can see it is a rather heavy piece of kit. And as you can see, even that alone builds up quite the sweat.
That's it, mate. Wipe your brow. You deserve a breather. Top class gurning.
Now I'm going to use one of your teachers for this demonstration. So we'll use, what's your name?
Mrs. Hannington.
We're going to use Mrs. Hannington, so give a round of applause for Mrs. Hannington.
She's a popular teacher and about to become Fergus's latest magical assistant.
Mrs. Hannington, what I'd like you to do is just come and stand behind the box for me. We're all going to count Mrs. Hannington in, I want you to place your hands on the side of the box. Don't lift it just for now. But when we get to 1, I just want you to lift it off the table.
Okay.
Everyone together. 3, 2, 1. Just lift up the box for me.
Can't.
It's really heavy. There's your proof. And Mrs. Hannington is pretty strong. I have that on good authority.
Now you can see, it is difficult. It is a heavy training unit. Unlucky. Round of applause.
A for effort, but there must be someone in there who's strong enough to lift that box.
Now you may have noticed there is someone in this room who's only fractionally bigger than me, but he's used to lifting a lot of weights. It is an England under-20 international. It's Charlie Yules! Round of applause for Charlie!
Now, he really is a proper rugby player and a big old fella. He's bound to lift it.
Now, Charlie, I presume you've lifted a lot of weights.
A few, yeah.
Judging probably just as many as me, on the look of it. I want you to imagine, Charlie, you're getting psyched up for a big game.
Yeah.
And we're going to count you down from 3. I want you to put your hands on the side of the box and lift it just like before. Do you think you'll be able to do it, boys and girls?
Yeah! He should, shouldn't he?
Of course, we're looking at an England under-20s player. Charlie, 3, 2,
Here he goes.
1.
He's gonna lift it any second now.
It's tough, you see.
It really is heavy.
Have another go. He's competitive, doesn't like to be beaten.
He's having another go. Still can't lift it.
Oh, good effort. I can actually see you've built up a bit of sweat there, a bit of hard work, so I'll dab you down. Lovely.
Charlie's a good sport. He doesn't even let the physio dab his head usually.
Now, different players do different things to psych up. In fact, New Zealand, they go out and they do something called the haka in front of other teams. So you've got these big guys doing a dance. That's really intimidating, right?
Totally true fact. Glad Ferguson didn't try and do it there, though.
For me, I tend to just go and find a mirror.
Oh, he's going to do it, isn't he?
And I just give it one of these.
Oh, Fergus might need to change his underwear after doing that.
So I want everyone now to give me your very best. 3, 2, 1.
Truly terrifying.
Excellent, very good. You all do that very well. But you, in particular, do it brilliantly. What's your name? Anna. Anna, you're going to come and help me for this. Give Anna a round of applause. So, Anna, if you come and stand in here for me. Lovely. Now, bearing in mind, you have seen your teacher unable to do this. You have seen an under-20s England international rugby player unable to do this. Do you think Anna's going to be able to do this? No, it's going to be difficult.
Now this I have to see.
Anna, I want you to imagine, this is called positive imagery,
Well, it's actually called magic.
that you've got your hands on the side of the box. Just imagine it for now, and you can lift the box. Just imagine you can do it with ease. It just floats right up in your hands and it feels really light and easy. Imagine that. Can you do that for me? Anna, I want you to give me your very best grr, your last grr. I'm going to count you in. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Very good. That's excellent. And I don't want you to lift it for now. I just want you to place your hands on the side of the box.
If the England international couldn't lift it, then surely Anna can't.
I'm going to count you down from 3, 2, 1, and I want you to calmly and gently just try and lift it.
I can feel the tension.
3, 2, 1. Whoa!
No way, she lifted it up like it was a feather. That's definitely worth a whoa, and a pause, and a rewind. An England rugby player did manage it, but check out Anna. She's my hero.
And a high five! Double high five!
Careful, Fergus, she doesn't know her own strength.
And that's why the mental is so important over the physical. That was incredible. Wasn't that amazing, boys and girls?
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm exhausted.
So when you are looking to do your sport, it is really important you train hard.
Fergus and Catherine have trained hard for their rugby trips, but now it's time to tackle the truth.
Now, my colleague Glenda, you're going to come up and join me because we've got a little something to tell you. My name is actually Fergus.
And I'm not Glenda. My name's Catherine.
And we are both magicians.
Dramatic pause, nice touch.
And all of you have been set up by your parents, by your teachers, by your schools, and there's a camera there, there's a camera there, there's a camera there, and you're all going to be on CBBC's Help My School Trip is Magic!
Kick it off, let's get some crowd reactions.
The trick was so awesome. I mean, it looks so light.
That was until Fergus picked it up. But could anyone else lift it?
When our teacher tried, she couldn't do it, and a professional rugby player couldn't do it.
When Anna stepped up to the plate, she grabbed that box with both hands.
When I picked it up, I was really surprised and shocked, and I didn't know what to do. I just picked it up and then I was like, wow.
3, 2, 1. Whoa!
She couldn't believe her strength. The class couldn't believe it either.
That trick was absolutely amazing. I couldn't believe my eyes.
Nice try, Fergus, and the class didn't suspect their school trip was magic.
I've got a theory on how that works. It's the hanky that makes it heavy. Watch. This box, really light. But if I put the hanky inside, I bet it feels pretty heavy. I'm just going to leave that there. See you later, but until then, if you're on a school trip and you think something magic's going on, maybe you'll find yourself shouting, "Help! My school trip is magic!"